Yep, here we go. What's up, my little followers and just two peeps that might have a glance or just occasionally arbitrarily on my channel here. How are you doing out there? Because I'm doing good and even been kind of like tired. I was at my training today and I tell you what, I feel good. I feel good, and that's because I trained and I had a lot of physical activities, and those physical activities condition my brain in a certain way that I feel, along with my tiredness, I feel kind of spiritual, like something about me, and let's call it the inspiration to maybe rant for a long while in front of you, and why not actually. And if you remember my previous session where I pitched a theme called universes that comprised out of smaller some physical entities and beings being put in that universe theme as a whole, as a bigger one, and I promised to be back with this rant about that stuff, so here I am. Why not deliver my promise, and let alone telling about that I have to speak out, and I don't know, at any occasion, at any situation I'm having my opportunity to speak, I do, and I'm doing this now, because then it goes to my speaking. When it goes to theme connected to my English, I always stand for any English related activity, and I kind of like pulled a lot of peeps into my activities, but they fell off. I don't know just why. Maybe they didn't like me, but I don't care too much about that, because I'm pretty strange dude, and some peeps, or a lot of peeps may not like me at all, because I'm pretty extraordinary as for my habits and my, I don't know, life approaching angles and how I treat people, how I may just say something rude and no reason, without any obvious reason. I mean, there is a reason if I say something rude to some peeps. I'm very honest with myself, and I don't want to pull a punch and just, I don't know, just be very polite when it doesn't go that way, that you want to be polite in front of some people. You know what I'm saying? How it goes down, you all know by yourself, right? And the theme of tonight is the continuation of my story related to multi-universe theme. Multi-universe theme commenced in one of my previous video shoots here. If I'm not mistaken, it's closer to the 300 episode, and it's been a pretty nice rant of mine. I said what I wanted. It was pretty, it was pretty nice, just, I don't know, presentation, if you will. Let's put it this way. But I have something to say, something remained unsaid, and I have to sound it out because I want to, and I will. Again, if I will live till the very end of this video shoot, then I will. Okay, see, the stuff remained unsaid was and still is that bigger bulb of multi-universe connected entities and physical objects, and literally telling like bulbs, and that bigger bulb that might include and that might be comprised of smaller universes. In one of those we live in actually, and as a human beings, or rather like other planets related to living creatures, they all might be out there, all living creatures, even unknown. And why universe is keeping silence? That's the separate question, needs to be answered very deeply, and maybe I'll send it out in my later video shoots, and though it's not the topic of today's consideration, and what I wanted to bring onto the flagpole of today's meeting here is that bigger bulb thing that is comprised out of any other smaller entities, like our universe, some other eligible universes, and stuff related to that, stars and constellations, and interstellar huge distances within our native universe, and any other possible universes that might exist, and probably they do actually, and who knows. And that bigger bulb is not the end actually of expanding in this story about multi-universe theme. That bigger, like gigantic, giant, overwhelming bulb that keeps us all inside itself. That bigger bulb we don't see even brings even the edge of that bulb. That's how distant they are, those brings of that bigger bulb, and we only can observe as a humanity. We only can observe within the distance of let's say 13.5 billion light years. Within that distance we can observe things happening, because we cannot just look over that brink that I said, because it's been so long as our universe has existed so far, so many years, 13.5 billion years. Our universe has been existing after that bigger bulb blowed, and that huge explosion and expansion of all the matter and hidden matter, dark matter, as they call that stuff, scientists I mean. And that explosion happened, and our universe expanded, and that bigger bulb that I talked previously expanded, and that led to huge expansion, and we cannot see over that brink that I put here, 13.5 billion years. We cannot reach over that hump, because we are, as human beings, we are not just aware, we are not conscious how to get over that just border, if you will, and because the light speed cannot be exceeded, at least by the present moment of our development as I don't know, earthlings, as something intelligent beings here on this planet called Earth, which I love to the extent you cannot even imagine. I love all our all the humanity, all the living things on this planet, all maybe even unknown hidden creatures that live deep in the ocean, that live in the ground, they fly, they just whatever. I'm pretty peaceful guy actually, and I love nature and everything in it. And that bigger bulb just lives happily without us being aware. Maybe some peeps, most of peeps that I know, they're ignorant, they literally care about nothing actually. They're just booze, they do nothing, they live on the couch and they surf their friend's couch, and that shitty circle repeats and repeats again and again. They booze, they drink beer, they go to work, they go home and have sleep, they wake up, they go to work again, they booze again, and that shitty never-ending circle is reiterated again and again, and then they end up with nothing. And I'm not amongst all those people that I said, and I want to grow, I want to expand, I want to know how things are like out there, beside that brink, even within our bigger bulb universe things that I reported you in this video shoot of tonight. I pitched what I wanted to actually to be continued, I should say, and I will be telling you something. That's my invention of tonight. That word doesn't exist, I know, but I'm so big and I'm so keen about learning English that I so big about inventing new unexisted and not existent vocabulary things, and I will be honored if I don't die. I hope I won't. Thanks, Jack, for giving me a fair bit of fluency on our last meeting. I'll be with you if I don't die. Thanks for attendance, for being on my life, for doing whatever, just to do what you want, you know. Thanks again, and see you in a little while, and see you soon. Bye. Pleasure.